الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وسلم Alhamdulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us tawqeer to visit His blessed house. It's one of the most blessed blessings if one thinks of that. Because you only invite those people to your house that you like. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invites us to His blessed house, and there is a sign in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants good for us. So we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this blessing that He gives us, that He invites us to His blessed house. When you go these places, Haramain, two harams, the haram of Makkah Mukarramah and the haram of Medina Munawwara, it opens your eyes that what is the reality of your life. Because the reality of life is to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants that we live the life of this purpose. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that we live a life of actions. This life is not to be wasted. Every single moment that Allah ta'ala has given us is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah ta'ala wants that we live a life of actions. And we don't waste this blessed life, that precious life that Allah ta'ala has given us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also wants that we live a life that's full of peace. And that peace only comes when we live a life of obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In one of the places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً. That whoever from the believers, from men and women, to live a life of good actions, I will surely give him a pure, sound life. So Allah Ta'ala wants that we live a life of peace, a good life. Allah Ta'ala doesn't want us to live in a chaotic situation. Allah Ta'ala doesn't want that we live a life of panic. When we have issues in our life, the problem is that we have taken these issues on ourselves. Allah Ta'ala says that if you live a life of good actions, if you realize the purpose of your life, if you understand that what this life is all about, if you connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then He will give you a sound, a pure, a beautiful life. This Allah Ta'ala's promise. مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ. He has to be a believer as well. Some people say, these people who do not believe, they do a lot of good actions as well. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most is the most just being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not waste the good things that they do. But the thing is that if people want to live a good life, a pure life, a beautiful life, a peaceful life, then what they have to do is they have to be a believer and do good actions. As far as the good actions, the people who do not believe, well, all the things that we enjoy, these are the rewards. And that's why Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in, they used to cry even they used to get cold water. They would say, that looks like that we are getting the reward of our good deeds in this life. So all the blessings that we have, all the things that we enjoy, this is the reward. But as far as the peace of the heart is concerned, that is through connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is through living a life of good actions. That's the purpose. That is the purpose. And visiting the Haramain, it highlights that purpose. It reminds people of that purpose of their life. I mean, that's why people should make an effort to go and visit the blessed house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some people say, oh, what's the point of going to Umrah again and again, because why can't you use the same money to give to the poor people? Well, there are many reasons why to go to Haramain again and again. Number one, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the targhib. He recommended people to go again and again. Number two is that it is also charity. It is charity on your own self. It is a charity on your family. Every single money, every single penny that you spend while visiting the Haramain is charity. Number three is that it connects you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the key thing. It connects you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This battery that gets discharged by living in this worldly life, it gets recharged. And that's the key thing. Because it is a possibility that you give money to poor people, but the passion that you should be giving it with, the sincerity that you should be giving it with, possibly that's not there. It's not about giving out, it's about acceptance by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are many people who give out a lot, but who knows if their money has been accepted or not, because it might be there is no sincerity in the heart. It is possibility that after they give, they show their favors on those people. Oh, somehow remind those people, that I have given you something, or I have done a favor on you. All of that is wasted. So when you go to and visit the Haramain, what happens is that it connects you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once it connects you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah ta'ala, because you have given in charity in going to Haramain, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one, He returns it all back to you, many folds. So you have already a lot of money, more than what you had. And then, when you give with that lot of money that you get afterwards, that will be through more sincerity. And that's the beauty of going to Haramain. That's why people should be at least making an intention to go to Haramain again and again. So the key is the connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The key is that we connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and once we connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then do actions for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that gives us the peace in our life. That gives us the peace in our life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that we get peace in our life, that we get good life. Another proof, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ, that indeed with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you get the peace in the heart. Again, it's a proof that Allah ta'ala wants that we get peace in our life. That we get peace in our heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want that we live a life of panic, that we live a life of stress, that we live a life of, all worries. Allah ta'ala does not want that. Allah ta'ala wants that we live a good life here, and of course that we live a good life here in the hereafter as well. So the purpose of life is to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and two is to do good actions. Is to live a life of actions. And then what Allah ta'ala promises is a good life. A peaceful life. People come and complain. I have this issue, I have that issue, all of these issues that people have. And they want a quick fix as well. There is a quick fix. But that quick fix is not easy to be implemented. The fix is very simple. But to implement that in our lives is a little difficult. And that quick fix is to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My Shaykh, he said that if I take the summary of my life, of what I've learned in my life, it boils down to 5 things. That's what he has said. If I take the summary of what I have experienced in my life, it boils down to 5 things. And if people do these 5 things, then their life will become good. Their life will become peaceful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send barakah in their life, and their life will be full of peace. And inshallah, I wanted to touch upon that. Because every single person, you talk to anybody, everybody has their issues. Everybody has their, something that's really hurting them inside. So what we need to do is that listen to these 5 things and try to implement these in your lives. People listen. Listening is very easy. The key is acting. Action is the key. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that whoever believed, men and women, right, and do good actions, Allah Ta'ala will grant them a good life. It all boils down to actions. وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. This is what a believer is. We heard and we obeyed. غُفْرَانَكَ رَبَّنَا إِلَيْكَ الْمَصِيرُ. We heard and we obeyed. Obedience has to come with listening. If people listen and listen and listen and listen and listen and do not obey, do not act, there's no use of that listening. We have been, mashallah, sitting here for years now. Well, the thing is, how much have we taken things into our lives? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. If we have not really taken things into our lives, then there is an issue. So listen to these 5 things carefully. And try to put that into your lives. Number 1 thing that my Shaykh has said, that is like one of the key things from the experiences of his life that makes people's life peaceful, that Allah Ta'ala sends barakah in their life. Number 1 is to act on the knowledge. Act on the knowledge that we have. This is the problem number 1 that we have in our lives. We have, mashallah, a lot of knowledge, but we do not act on the knowledge that we get. Everybody is, looking at the other person. Oh, he doesn't do that. Oh, my friend, he has gone to that Islamic school, but he doesn't even do that. Why should I do that? Oh, look at that alim. Look at that mufti. He doesn't even do this. Why should I do that? Well, everybody is responsible for their own things, of their own actions. You will not be asked, what did I do? Nobody will be asked, what the other person did. Everybody will be asked about what you did. Okay. We know from this hadith that Prophet ﷺ said, nobody will move on the day of judgment until he answers 4 questions. One of those 4 questions is that where did you get what did you act on the knowledge that you have? We all know about many things, but what do we do? Do we really act on all of that? Mashallah, people, they say, why do I keep repeating same things again and again and again? And they are like sort of fed up. The thing is that until we don't take these things into our lives, that means that we need to repeat all of those things again, because in other words, we have not listened to what we have said. Right? Because hearing is obeying. Hearing is not just, just listening to whatever we listen to and then, just put it in maybe throw it away. So we need to make sure that all the knowledge that we get, we need to act on that. Because if we do not act on the knowledge that we have, then the problem is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes the barakah from our lives. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes the barakah from our lives, then our lives have issues. Imagine Allah ta'ala takes away the barakah, then our lives will have issues. And if there is no barakah and if we have issues, then there is nobody that we can go to and complain to about all of that except our own selves. So this is number 1 thing. Make sure that act on everything that we have. So people listen, but they do not act on what they have. It's not only about deen, it's also about dunya. How many things that we know, but we do not act. We know that, that smoking is bad for our health. Mashallah, we go and smoke. Right? And then, people get cancers and lung cancers and this issue and that issue. Who do we have to blame? Our own selves. There is a dini aspect to that as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in the Quran, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ. Do not destroy your own self with your own hands. Allah ta'ala has forbidden that. Why? Because this body that we have is not ours. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's. And if it is Allah ta'ala's rental property, right, then we do not have any right to do any harm to this thing that we have. We do not have any right. It's not ours. Right? We have given examples many times in the past. If you get a rental car, and if you go and scratch it,
and we go and return it back to the rental car company, what will he say? He'll say, give me fine. Or you need to pay this and this much. Why? Because it wasn't yours. It was mine. Why did you do that to it? Similarly, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this amana, this trust, this body, this rental vehicle that we are riding, we have no right, absolutely, whatsoever to destroy it with our own hands. Right? But the point is, what I was trying to say was that we know things, but we still don't act on that. We know a lot of things, but you don't act on that. We know that, you cannot cross the red light, but you still cross the red light. We know that we should not be passing a certain speed limit, but we still pass a certain speed limit. So it's bad in everything. If we know things, then we should act on those things. And especially when it comes down to the deeny things that is connected to our spirituality, then definitely we do need to act on all of that. Because if we do not act on the knowledge that we get, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away the barakah. We know, again, people will say, I'll say this in every lecture, we know that it is, Allah ta'ala has stopped us from looking at the non-mahrams, but we still stare at non-mahrams. We know that, all of us know that, still do that, right? We know that we have to obey our parents, we have to respect our parents, but still, we go and, we scream at our parents, we talk to them in a manner, in a tone that is, extremely disrespectful. So we know that, and we still do that. That means that in other words, we don't know that. This is another fashion. Somebody invites somebody, there is a talk going on. The first question that people normally ask, what's the topic? As if, if this is a topic that we have already heard about, we should not be going. Well, did you implement every single thing that you heard in that particular talk that you listened to? Okay. So we all need to be acting on what we know. We should know that all of these are blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have. We know these are the blessings, but we still do not appreciate these blessings. We still do not appreciate the blessings. For example, water. Water is a blessing. This electricity is a blessing. We waste it. We go to our toilets, we turn on our taps and we are brushing and the tap is running down the water is running down the tap. And we waste it. We don't even realize that. We know it's a blessing, but we waste it. Electricity, we come out of our rooms, we come out of our toilets, the lights are on and we don't even, shut that off. We know that it's a blessing, but we don't appreciate that. And we can go on and on and on. We know that it is haram to lie, but we still lie. We don't even think about before what we speak. There's a terminology that people have put. I was just kidding. What do you mean you were just kidding? You were lying. There was a foul smell coming out of your mouth and the angels were running away from you when you were kidding. People don't realize. People know it's a lie. But they will just give themselves excuse. This is why I did that. This is why that I should have done that. Or there was no issue when I did that. Okay. So we have the knowledge, but we do not want to act on that. So when people do have the knowledge and they do not act on that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He takes away the barakah. We know hurting people is bad, but we still hurt every single person that we want. Don't even care about, especially in the house. The husbands do not care about their wives. The wives do not care about their husbands. The parents do not care about their kids. The kids do not care about their parents. People don't care about their the maids that are working for them. They talk to them as if they are not human beings. They put extra responsibility on the people that are on their helpers, without even thinking. People go to their workplaces and there are tea boys serving teas, and they talk to them as if they are like quote unquote third grade citizens. They are human beings, right? They are just human beings like us. They have the same blood flowing in their veins and that flows in our veins. They also have emotions. When you don't talk to them properly, they also feel hurt about it. We know it, but we don't act on it. But it comes down to when there is a difference of opinion, suddenly, slowly, gradually, voices start getting raised, and people start shouting at each other. Be it workplaces, I've seen it in workplaces. I'm amazed. The first time I heard that, people were literally shouting at the workplaces. I was thinking, are these your slaves? Are they your subordinates? People, when Allah Ta'ala gives them this title of being managers or directors or whatever, they start feeling as the people who are working for them, they are their slaves. People shout at each other, despite of the fact that they know that these are the human beings that Allah Ta'ala has given them equal rights in terms of humanity. The only thing that differentiates between two human beings is their taqwa. That's it. And it's quite possible that poor tea boy that is working for you, who is serving you tea, has more taqwa than you, and in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's better than you. And if he's better than Allah, in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you shout back at him, then imagine what Allah ta'ala will do to you. Just think about it. In the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Al-Kasibu Habibullah. That the people, the laborers who work with their own hands are the Habibullah, are the beloved of Allah. And if you look down upon these people who work, who are people of taqwa, of course, if you look down upon those people, just imagine they are the friends of Allah, they're the beloveds of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What will happen to us? Just think about that. We know all of that, we do not act on that. I'm just picking up few examples that are in our common day lives. That happens every single day of our life. So we need to be people of actions. We need to be people who should get knowledge and also who act on the knowledge that they get. Who get knowledge, there's no excuse, I don't have knowledge for that. Okay, if you did not have knowledge until today, you're not born with all of the knowledge. That's why we have been asked to get knowledge. It is a mandatory thing upon all of us to get knowledge as to what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But once you get knowledge, then it's an obligation that we act on that knowledge that we get. Because if we do not act on the knowledge that we get, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away the barakah, the blessings from that thing, from our lives, and then we start getting all the issues. We start getting all of these things that we experience in our life and that we complain about. And there's nobody to complain to except our own selves if we are not acting on the knowledge that we have. There are different types of animals. One sort of animal is neutral, who do not benefit anybody, who do not harm anybody. They're just these sparrows that fly in there, these pigeons. They're like neutral animals. Don't do anything. You go near them, they fly away because they get scared of you. Right? These cats that are walking around, they don't harm anybody. They're not beneficial as well. Then there are some sorts of animals who are beneficial. Right? They give you milk. You can ride on them. They take you from one place to another place. And then there are another source of animals that only give you harm. Irrespective of what you do to them, they will give you harm. For example, a scorpion. You go near a scorpion. In fact, you don't even need to go near it. It will come to you and will bite you if you're around a scorpion. snake. It doesn't give you any benefit. It only harms you. Allah Ta'ala has of course produced that for a purpose. But it only harms people. If we are the people who harm other people, we are like those animals. In fact, we are from the worst categories of the animals. Because there are animals who benefit and there are other animals who are neutrals. And if we are hurting and harming people, then we are like the worst category of the animals. Just imagine. So we are in the animals, and even some animals are better than us. So we should be the people who should benefit other people. We shouldn't be like animals. We should be loving everybody. Every single person. Be it like whatever his worldly status is. Whatever relationship you have with that person. Is you a family member? Or he is your friend? Or he's just a person that you know? Or he's just a person walking down the street. Even if it's a person walking down the street, we should be smiling at that person. Once we go to the masjid and we come out of the masjid and there's just a person he passes by us, and we know that he has just come out of the masjid, so he's a Muslim, so smile at that person and give him salam. This is what a human being should be. This is what a believer should be. This is what we all should be like. We know that, we don't act on it. So be people of actions. Get knowledge, act on your knowledge. Because this is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barak in our lives. The second thing that my Shaykh has said that brings sukoon in the life, or that makes our life good, is that we should learn from the experiences of the people who know, from the experiences of the experienced people. There's no shortcut to experience. That's why, when a person who gets quote unquote graduation in the field of spirituality, what is he called? Shaykh. What does a Shaykh mean? Shaykh means an old man. It doesn't have to be an old man. But the reason that he is called Shaykh, because he has gone through all of those experiences in the spiritual realm that is required in order to train other people. So the people, when they come to him and explain to him, this is the state that I'm going through, he has possibly either gone through that state by himself, or at least have an understanding of that state. So he has that experience that he can use in order to train other people, in order to guide other people. That's why he's called a Shaykh. This experience is a very golden thing. We need to learn from the experiences of other people. The problem with us is that we do not want to listen to anybody. This is our problem. And that's why we have all these issues in our life sometimes. We don't want to listen to our parents. Parents tell us this thing and that thing, thank you very much, we don't want to listen to you. We will do whatever we feel like. My life, my way. This is a slogan that people have. That's why that it is recommended, it is a sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you take a guide, a teacher in your life in order to develop yourself. That's why. This is sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down a prophet. Right? And Allah ta'ala taught him, and He ordered this prophet, this messenger, to alayhi salam, to guide other people. He is being guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so he's getting his experience directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he is there to guide other people. Our mashayikh say if somebody doesn't have a shaykh, then his shaykh is shaitan. And that's absolutely true. I can guarantee you that. If somebody doesn't have a guide, his guide is shaitan. Because shaitan comes, whispers things in his ears, and then the nafs wants whatever he feels it wants to do, And he listens to the shaitan and takes in everything that shaitan tells him to do and does that. So this is a problem, and that is in the lives of the people. That people do not take guidance from the experienced people. Be it parents, small kids, they don't want to listen to their parents anymore. People don't want to listen to their elder brothers, to their elder sisters anymore. People do not want to take teachers in their life. They do not want to take a guide in their life. If they do not take that, then the problem, then there will be problems in the life. Because they are going against the sunnah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set in our lives. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasulah wa ulil amri minkum. Allah ta'ala says, ayah of the Quran. Oh, you who believe, obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obey the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and obey the people who are of authority amongst you. And the ulama, mufassirin have said that this means two things. There are people who are in authority in worldly matters, and there are people who are authority in religious matters. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us that we obey both of them. Of course, this person who is in worldly matters has to be a person of Allah. He has to be implementing the rules according to the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. If he asks you to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we cannot listen to him. And also in our religious matters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that we take a guide, and we listen to him and obey him. Allah ta'ala's sunnah in our lives. When people have this ego issue, why should I be, talking to anybody? That's where the problem starts, because again they are going against the sunnah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in our lives. It's all ego issue, and especially it's with men. It's, women, still because the ego there is an ego issue in women as well. But it's more in men. Because of that issue, this ego that's in themselves, they don't want anybody, to listen to. It's very difficult for them. How can somebody tell me things? It's sort of an arrogance that's within all of us. Unless we submit ourselves and we agree that, there are people who are better than us, or who are more knowledgeable than us. Until and unless we have that feeling within ourselves, and until we don't take, or we take that person as our guide in our lives, there will still remain issues in our life. And this is again, subhanAllah, it's an amazing, amazing phenomena. Cannot explain it through words. Because it's all, iman bil ghaib. When you submit yourself and you go to somebody and ask for his advice, even though that person gives you an advice which you already knew, but because of this conversation that has taken place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts so much barakah in that thing that you do, is that, we can't even explain that. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, go into mashwara. This is what, one of the things that our, the people, our brothers who go out for tabligh, people who who are fortunate enough to go out and work, in the tabligh, we all know that, right? Mashwara is something that's necessary element. We cannot go without mashwara. We cannot do anything without the mashwara. And it becomes like nurun ala nur if you have a spiritual guide in your life that who is experienced enough, and you go and take mashwara from that person. It's the barakah of mashwara and following the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of taking a teacher in your life, subhanAllah, then Allah ta'ala sends barakah in everything that they do, and the life becomes peaceful. It's an amazing thing. And because people do not want to gain to benefit from the experience, even in worldly things, right? And especially the religious things, people have issues in their lives. People have issues in their lives. SubhanAllah, the Mufti Sahib called me yesterday. And I met him a few months ago. MashaAllah, really did a lot of ikram. May Allah Ta'ala give him jazai khair. He had an issue. He's a mufti, right? MashaAllah. And he's specialized in fiqh, in his own field. But he had a spiritual issue. And subhanAllah, in the few months that we know each other, he could never open up and couldn't tell me the issue that he had. But especially, subhanAllah, the reason is that because he knew this all phenomena, this whole concept that Allah Ta'ala has put in our deen. He eventually called me yesterday and told me, this is what my issue is. The people of who know all of that, they know, there is a barakah in that. And I possibly have told him the thing that he already knew. Possibly. But just this interaction that has taken place, I hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that inshallah Allah ta'ala will remove his problem just for this very fact, for this very thing that has happened. Because this is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Know that. This is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it also crushes our ego. It also crushes our arrogance that's in our hearts. We need to do that. We all should take a teacher, a spiritual guide in our lives that we can go to and who we can connect to. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put down barakah. Read any traditional book. Read Fadail A'mal, the people. Subhanallah. It's all filled with, the talks of our mashayikh. And people say, this is the only thing that we need to do. This is a necessary element that people need to have in their lives. The third thing that my shaykh said, that if you do it in your life, then your life will become peaceful. And from the cream of the experience of his life, he said, third thing that people should definitely do is to do istighfar on the sins that we do. To do istighfar on the sins that we do. To ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness for the sins that we do in our daily lives. The reason that we do not do istighfar on the sins that we do, many of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are supposed to fall on us, Allah ta'ala stops them. Allah ta'ala stops them. Because when we do not do istighfar on the sins that we do, it is again a sign of arrogance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a sign of arrogance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if people have any sort of arrogance or ego issue, that's a blocker right there and then. In our elevation, in our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in getting of that blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So do istighfar. Once Sayyidina Hasan Basri rahmatullah alayhi, he was sitting with a group of students. And somebody came to him. And he said, Shaykh, I'm a very sinful person. I've done a lot of sins. Tell me something that I can do in my life. He said, do istighfar. Another person came, he said, I have a field, I'm a farmer. Since many days it hasn't rained. Please tell me something so that I can do, and it starts raining. He said, do istighfar. So another person came. He says, I'm a very poor man. Tell me something that I can do so that, I've become a rich man. I have a lot of things that I need to give back to people. To tell me something to do. He said, do istighfar. Another man came. He said that, tell me something. I don't have sons. I want that Allah Ta'ala blesses me with the ni'mah, with the blessing of sons. What should I read so that I get this blessing? He said, do istighfar. So the person who was seeing all of that, he said, what is this? Anybody who comes to you with any issue, you just give him this one thing. Do istighfar, do istighfar, do istighfar. What is this? Is this the only thing that you know? He said that I haven't said anything from my own. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم سورة النوح And Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam told to the people when he was giving da'wah, he said, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. That do istighfar, ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness. He is indeed very merciful. He's forgiving. If you have sins, and you are scared of the sins that what will happen to me after I die, or even in my life, do istighfar. And then Allah Ta'ala says, يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. Then when you do istighfar, then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will send down rain from the skies. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ. And Allah Ta'ala will help you with wealth. وَبَنِينَ. And Allah Ta'ala will help you with sons. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ. And Allah Ta'ala will give you the gardens of fruits. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. And Allah Ta'ala will give you streams or rivers of water. All the benefits of just doing istighfar. So this is something that we all need to do in our lives. We sin day and night. Believe me, even if you feel that you're the most pious person on the face of the earth, we still sin. We don't realize, but we still sin. Any moment that is spent in heedlessness, without the zikr of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that's a sin by itself. Even if we do not like outwardly disobey Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, although we do, and we all know ourselves, but even if there is a person who feels that, he tries to do everything according to the orders of Allah, according to the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, still if they are they live any moment of heedlessness, they spend any moment without the dhikr of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that by itself is a sin. So all of us should do istighfar. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in one of these, "Tuba liman wurida fi sahifatihi istighfaran kaseera." That glad tidings is for that person who find in his sahifa, in his book, a lot of istighfar. So we should make a habit to do istighfar. Although it's best to do istighfar with istighfar. That is, with consciousness. When we are saying astaghfirullah, we should be really feeling bad in our heart, oh Allah, I'm sorry. Oh Allah, I'm sorry. If you go to somebody, if you have been rude to somebody, and you go and tell him, in a rude way, I'm sorry. Do you think that person is going to accept your apology? No. So, the apology has to be asked with shame, with humbleness. So the best way to do istighfar is by feeling bad in the heart. Astaghfirullah, Rabbi, min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Ya Allah, I'm sorry, I seek forgiveness of you for all the bad that I've done, or for all the sins that I've done, and I return back to you. But if people don't do that, still, shaitan comes and says, what's the point of doing istighfar because you don't have that istighfar. Still, it's better to do istighfar. We should, when we are walking, driving, cooking, we should do this tasbih of astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Because it has benefits. When we are just sitting in our shops, or we are at our jobs, we don't have anything, we should make a habit of doing istighfar, to do a lot of istighfar. So this istighfar brings a lot of benefits. It brings lots of benefits. Just told you, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said that in the Quran. If you do istighfar, Allah Ta'ala will bless you with all of these blessings. And when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gives us blessing, then who are we in need of anymore? You're not in need of anything after that. And people, when they have issues, they go to all of these amils, give them 100 pounds, 100 dirhams, $100, whatever. And ask them to do something for you. When they are waiting for us so that we can bring them, all of this money. Because they cannot move without that. If they cannot move without us, how can they move us? Just think about it. Anybody who takes money for the thing, for any dua that they make, or any ta'weez that they give you, know that he's fake. Know that he's fake. Full stop. Do istighfar. There's so much barakah in istighfar that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will solve, inshallah, all of your issues. And you will get all of the things that you're in need of. And you will have sukoon in your life, you will have peace in your life, and all the issues will be raised. And people, these amils, sometimes, they even destroy the iman of people. Oh, somebody has, done something on you and your, wrist is tied. Allahu Akbar. And people believe in that. What sort of Muslims are we? What sort of La ilaha illallah do we have? Somebody has tied my wrist. Allahu Akbar. Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. That there is no living being on the earth, but Allah Ta'ala has promised rizq for him. His rizq, the provision is in the hands of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. It's not in anybody's hands. It's not in my, that person who has done magic on me. It's not in the hands of my khala and my pupu and my chachi, or my mother-in-law or my daughter-in-law. Some people say, my daughter is not getting married. Somebody must have done something. Nobody's done anything. Ask Allah, do istighfar, inshallah Allah Ta'ala will open all the doors for you. Allah Ta'ala will open all doors for you, inshallah, all the blessings that you're in need of. So the solution to all the issues is istighfar. Do a lot of istighfar. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says in one of the ayah that مَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ. That Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will not punish these people until, oh my messenger, oh my beloved sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you are amongst them. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ مُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. And Allah Ta'ala will not punish people until they keep asking for forgiveness, until they keep doing istighfar. So all of the issues that we have are in actually the punishments that we are getting from Allah. Right? So if we do a lot of istighfar, then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will remove all of these punishments from us. And the true istighfar is that we also do tawbah along with that. And that is we promise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Ya Allah, I'm sorry for what I've done. And Ya Allah, I also promise to you that inshallah I will not repeat this thing again. That's true istighfar. That is also joined with the tawbah. True tawbah. And as I said, even if you have not committed any sin outwardly, still do istighfar. Still do istighfar. For example, if you have, people are married, they have kids. If they come to you, like grown-up kids, not babies. If they come to you and say, Baba, I'm sorry. Why? Baba, just feeling like, I should say sorry to you because, possibly I might have done something wrong to you. Just imagine the love that will flow out from your heart for your kid. Just imagine, just think about it. Right? If you go to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and say, Ya Allah, astaghfirullah. Ya Allah, I'm so sorry. Why? What did you do? Ya Allah, I can't remember anything right now that I've done in the last 10 minutes. But Ya Allah, I'm sorry. Astaghfirullah. Just imagine the love that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will show to these people. Think about that. They do a lot of istighfar. And also I tell you another thing. Don't be hesitant in asking for forgiveness to other people as well. Just a sidetrack. People, I don't know why do people have this, again, ego issue. That they wrong people and they're so hesitant in asking for forgiveness from those people. This is a big issue in all of us. We should be, we should be saying sorry to people. We should ask for forgiveness from people. Even if we haven't outwardly, again, if we haven't done wrong to people. Please forgive me for something that I might have done to you. That increases that bond. That makes that bond, stronger between you and that person. This, istighfar, sorry, is a beautiful word. We should make we should make a habit of doing istighfar and saying sorry to people. The fourth thing that my Shaykh said that we should do in order to attract the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that will remove the calamities and make our life peaceful and sound and beautiful, hayatun tayyibah, is that we should be grateful to the blessings that Allah Ta'ala has given us. We should be truly grateful to the blessings that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has given us. The problem is that we don't even realize that we have blessings. We don't even realize that this sitting is a blessing. We don't even realize that the relationship that we have is a blessing. People don't realize that, that their parents are blessing. People don't realize that their kids are blessing. People don't realize that their spouses are blessing. People don't realize that this house is a blessing. This light is a blessing, this night is a blessing, and a day is a blessing. Go and ask people who live in, for example, Denmark. Go and see, go to north of Denmark and they have night six months of the year. Just ask them the blessing of the sun, about the blessing of the sun. Hey? Go and ask people who don't have the blessing. Why are we waiting that these blessings be taken away from us so that we can we appreciate those blessings then? The husbands that we are complaining about all the time, just imagine that, Allah Ta'ala takes your husband away. Just imagine that what will happen to you. He gives you security. He earns for you. Right? He's the father of your children. He provides for you. Irrespective of how bad he is, still, there are so many things that you're getting through him, that Allah Ta'ala has made him the means of giving you so many blessings. Just think about your wives. What a great blessings are your wives. Despite of the fact that we find so many issues in our wives, right? Still, just imagine if Allah Ta'ala takes her away. All the things that we get, the food that they cook for us, the children that they are raising, right? All the things that we don't even appreciate but they do for us, we will only be able to appreciate those things if Allah Ta'ala takes them away. Think about our parents, the du'as that they make for us. Such a huge blessing. The du'as that they make for us. There's one very big shaykh, his mother passed away. Allah Ta'ala gave him ilham and inspiration. He said, be careful now. Because the one whose du'as used to protect you is not there in this dunya anymore. The du'as of our parents, of our teachers, of our mashayikh, they protect us. They literally protect us. Our teachers are our blessings. We don't appreciate those. Our mashayikh are our blessing. We don't appreciate these people. Every single thing that we have is a blessing. We need to realize the health that we have is our blessing. Just reflect on our own selves. Reflect on the systems that we have. The respiratory system and the digestive system and the nervous system and all of these systems. The circulatory system. Just imagine that if any of these systems fail, and we have people around us who don't have some of these blessings, just ask them. So we should appreciate these blessings. And know that we never be arrogant on the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To be grateful to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to be humble and to thank Allah ta'ala, recognizing number one that this is a blessing from Allah, and number two, and then thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. Because if you become arrogant on the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah ta'ala will take that blessing away from us. And if we are thankful to the blessings of Allah, Allah ta'ala will increase that blessing. There's a rule, again, a sunnah of Allah. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. It's ayah of the Quran. A promise from Allah that if you give thanks to Allah ta'ala for the blessings, Allah ta'ala will increase you in the blessings. But if you are ungrateful to the blessings, then He says, no, that my punishment is very severe. You know of this beautiful hadith. There was, Allah Ta'ala sent an angel to test three people. One was a leper, one was a blind, one was one who was a bald person. Didn't have hair on his head. He came to the leper, he said, do you need anything? He said, I have all these marks on my skin. People, they hate me. I cannot go out. I cannot do business. People don't want to sit with me. This is what I'm worried about. He said, he made a dua. Allah Ta'ala gave him new skin. And he said that, take this camel, and Allah Ta'ala puts barakah in your camel. So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gave him lots of camels from that camel that he got, the she camel. And he became a very rich person, and his skin was beautiful, and he was good looking after that. And and he started living like that. Even the angel went, and so at the very same time when he went to this first person, he went to the second person who didn't have hair. He said, do you need something? What are you worried about? He said, I'm bald, I don't have hair, people don't I'm not very good looking, people don't want to come and sit with me, I'm a very poor person. So I wish that I had hair. So he made a dua and Allah Ta'ala gave him hair. And he became good looking, and he also gave him a cow. And he said, take this cow, may Allah put barakah in this cow. And then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gave him a lot of cows from that one she cow. And he became a rich person as well. He also went to another person at the same time who was blind. And he asked him, are you worried about something? He said, I'm blind, I cannot see, I cannot, go and do anything, I'm very poor because of that. And he made a dua that, Ya Allah, gave him eyesight. And Allah Ta'ala gave him eyesight. At the very same time, he also gave him a she-goat. And he said, may Allah put barakah in the she-goat. And Allah Ta'ala gave him a lot of goats after that. So many years passed, and when people get these blessings and they forget about the blessings that where they come from, they became arrogant people. So Allah Ta'ala sent that angel again to all of these three people. He went to the first person as a poor man. He said, I'm a very poor man. Can you please give me from the wealth that Allah Ta'ala has given you? He said, what do you mean? He said, remember you were a very poor person one day, and that Allah Ta'ala He gave you all of these blessings. He said, what do you mean? I'm a rich person. My family, I'm coming from a lineage of rich people. He said, go away. I don't have anything for you. He said, okay, may Allah make him whatever you were. And Allah Ta'ala made him a leper again. And Allah Ta'ala took away all the wealth that he had. He went to the second person who was bald. He said, can you give me some wealth from what Allah has given you? What do you mean? This is all what I've heard. I've worked hard and I've earned all of this. I don't have anything for you. Go away. People become arrogant. He said, okay, that's fine. May Allah Ta'ala make you whatever you were. He became, Allah Ta'ala took away the blessing of his hair. Allah Ta'ala took away all the wealth that he had. Then he went to the third person who was blind. He said, can't you give me something from what Allah has given you? Remember you were a poor person once and Allah Ta'ala gave you all of this? When he said that to that person, he started crying. He said, you are right. There was a time when I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And then somebody came, he made dua for me, and he gave me a goat, and Allah Ta'ala put barakah in that goat. And all what you see between these two mountains, these goats, all of these, they are all from Allah. Go and take whatever you want. He said, I don't need anything. May Allah put barakah. I am an angel that Allah Ta'ala has sent to test all of you. The other of your brothers, they were ungrateful to Allah's blessings. Allah Ta'ala took all the blessings away from them. So this is what we also need to realize. All the blessings that we have, it is from Allah. Every single thing that we have is from Allah. The guidance, if we have got guidance from, is from Allah. Just remember those days that we were misguided. The teachers that we have got, they are a blessing from Allah. Remember those days when we didn't have anybody to guide us. The wealth that we have, remember those days, when we didn't have anything. When we were kids. Even if we are coming from a rich family, when we were kids, we didn't have anything. It wasn't ours. the jobs that we have. Remember that day when we were graduating and we had all of these fears in our head. What will happen to us? What if I don't get a job? Remember that day. So we should recognize that every single thing that we have is a blessing of Allah. Remember that day that we were not married and we were praying to Allah Ta'ala that may Allah get us married. Remember that day that when we didn't have children and we were praying to Allah Ta'ala, Ya Allah, grant us children. So we should remember all of those days. Remember what we were when we were small little kids and couldn't even move by ourselves. And Allah Ta'ala gave us strength that we move. We are able to move. We can stand. We can walk. We can run. And then we become arrogant. So people do not do that they do not appreciate of the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, then Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَا إِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. My punishment is severe, and then if we have issues in our lives, that is because of the ungratefulness that we have shown to the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So do shukr to the ni'mas of Allah. Be grateful to the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will shower all of us with His blessings, with His mercy, with more of His blessings. And that will bring the peace and comfort in our lives. The fifth thing, he says that, make sure that we get lessons from the people who pass away. The problem that again we have is that, people die left and right and we don't even care about, what happened. You go to Haramain, after every single prayer, almost there is a Salatu al-Mayyit. True or not true? And we stand up and we pray Janazah prayer after every prayer, and we do not even think once that one day will come that somebody will be praying my Janazah. And the problem with that is that, we forget the purpose of our life. And we are not able to connect back to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. SubhanAllah, people, their relatives die. Their parents die. They pass away. And SubhanAllah, 3 days later, 5 days later, 7 days later, people are fighting with each other that who's going to get inheritance. People are fighting with each other, who's going to pay the bills. Brothers, sisters, relatives. People are, they're again, in 2 days, I've seen in 2 days, not even a couple of days have passed. People are laughing, joking, and smoking, and, standing on the streets and not even thinking about what has happened. People should be crying over their own selves. Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah Alayhi writes in his book, he says, somebody's funeral was passing by, and there was one person going with the funeral, and another person came and he asked him, whose funeral is this? He says, your funeral. So he got shocked. He said, if you didn't like it, it's my funeral. He said, we shouldn't be thinking about whose funeral is that. This is the time to get lesson. That one day will come that people will be carrying us, and be taking us to the graveyard and putting us into the grave, under this earth, in this earth. We should take lessons when people pass away. And if we do that, that will help us in getting ourselves connected to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And if we get connected to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, we live in the state of the zikr of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, then of course Allah Ta'ala's promise is true. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. And truly, with the zikr of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the heart gets peace, rest, sukoon. And that's what we all need. And because we are living a life of heedlessness, we don't even know that we are dying. We don't even know what's the purpose of our life. That's where all the problems, come into our lives. So may Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala give us tawfiq that we be able to really, really understand, what it is all about. What's the purpose of our life? What should we really be doing? Do actions. Do live a life of actions. It's not just listening. It is taking these things into our lives and act on these things. And Allah Ta'ala, as is said in the beginning, Allah Ta'ala says, every believer, men and women, if they do live a life of good actions, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will grant them a pure and a beautiful and a life full of peace. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillah.
شکر ہے تیرا خدایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا تو نے اپنے گھر بلایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا اپنا دیوانہ بنایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا گرد کعبے کے پھرایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا مدتوں کی پیاس کو سیراب تو نے کر دیا جام زمزم کا پلایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا ڈال دی ٹھنڈک میرے سینے میں تو نے ساق کیا اپنے سینے سے لگایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا بھاگ گیا میری زباں کو ذکر الا اللہ کا یہ سبق کس نے پڑھایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا خاص اپنے در کا رکھا تو نے اے مولا مجھے خاص اپنے در کا رکھا تو نے اے مولا مجھے یوں نہیں در در پھرایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا میری کوتاہی کہ تیری یاد سے غافل رہا پر نہیں تو نے بھلایا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا تیری رحمت تیری شفقت سے ہوا مجھ کو نصیب گنبد خضرا کا سایہ میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا بارگاہ سید کونین میں آ کر نفیس سوچتا ہوں کیسے آیا میں تو اس قابل نہ تھا لا الہ الا اللہ محمد رسول اللہ الحمد للہ رب العالمین الحمد للہ رب العالمین الحمد للہ رب العالمین اللہم صل علی سیدنا محمد وعلی آل سیدنا محمد وبارک وسلم اللہم صل علی سیدنا محمد وعلی آل سیدنا محمد وبارک وسلم اللہم صل علی سیدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما إنها ساءت مستقرا ومقاما ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما واجعلنا للمتقين إماما واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر المجاهدين في كل مكان. اللهم بارك لنا في الموت وفيما بعد الموت. اللهم بارك لنا في الموت وفيما بعد الموت. اللهم بارك لنا في الموت وفيما بعد الموت. اللهم أعنا على سكرات الموت وغمرات الموت. اللهم أعنا على سكرات الموت وغمرات الموت. اللهم أعنا على سكرات الموت وغمرات الموت. يا أرحم الراحمين، يا أكرم الأكرمين، يا كريم، يا غفار، يا رحيم، يا ودود، يا وهاب، يا ستار، يا ستار، يا ستار، يا حنان، يا منان, يا Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, there are people who have come from far. Ya Allah, please accept their coming, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, they have taken time for your sake, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, they have come with sincerity, with a hope, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, we beg you that you please accept their coming and accept all of us, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akram al-Akrameen. Ya Allah, it's all about your acceptance, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we beg you that you please accept this gathering. Ya Allah, you please forgive us for all the shortcomings that we had. Ya Allah, in saying things or listening to things. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please do not look at us, Ya Allah, as to who we are. Ya Allah, look at your generosity, look at your majesty. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, look at your karam, Ya Allah, look at your raham. Ya Allah, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, you yourself have said, Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. That, oh people, you are beggars in front of Allah. Ya Allah, this group of beggars is here in front of your door, Ya Allah, please open your doors of mercy. Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you please open your doors of mercy. Ya Allah, please open your doors of mercy. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, we are living with your mercy, Ya Allah, with your mercy. Ya Allah, every single breath that we take, every single, Ya Allah, moment that we pass, Ya Allah, it's only because of your mercy, Ya Allah, please, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, we beg you that you please do not take away your mercy from us. Ya Allah, we will not be able to live, Ya Allah, if you take away your mercy. Please, we beg you that you shower your mercy upon all of us. Ya Allah, we know that you and yourself and your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have, Ya Allah, given la'na to a few people. Have given la'na, Ya Allah, to people who do a few things. Ya Allah, we know la'na means that those people are cut off from your mercy. Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, that please do not make us from those people. Ya Allah, we are indeed in need of your mercy, Ya Allah. Please, Ya Allah, shower your mercy upon all of us. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, we all accept our sins, our shortcomings. Ya Allah, we do not give you any excuses for any of our sins. Ya Allah, we beg you that you please forgive all of us, Ya Allah, and shower us with your mercy. Ya Allah, you yourself have said, Ya Allah, your promise is true. Ya Allah, that if people ask you for forgiveness, then you will never punish them. Ya Allah, please, Ya Allah, we ask you of your forgiveness. Ya Allah, we beg you of your forgiveness. Please, Ya Allah, do not punish us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, indeed we are worthy of being punished, Ya Allah, but Ya Allah, we beg you that out of your extreme mercy, Ya Allah, you take away all the punishments away from us.
and shower us with your mercy. Ya Allah, you also have promised that لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you give thanks, that you are grateful to me, that you will increase us in your blessing. Ya Allah, we thank you for all the blessings that you have given us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we thank you, Ya Allah, that you have made us from the people of Iman. Ya Allah, we thank you, Ya Allah, for each and every single thing that you have given us. Ya Allah, we thank you, Ya Allah, that you have invited us to your beautiful and blessed house. Ya Allah, we thank you that, Ya Allah, you have invited us to visit your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, despite of our filth and despite of our sins, Ya Allah, still you gave us this opportunity, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we will never be able to thank you enough for all the blessings that you have given us. Ya Allah, please increase us in our blessings. Ya Allah, we are indeed fuqara. Ya Allah, we are beggars, and those beggars, Ya Allah, who will never be satisfied with your blessings, we will always be in need of your blessings, more blessings. Ya Allah, inni lima anzaltu ilayya min khairin faqir. Ya Allah, whatever blessing, whatever khair, whatever good you, Allah, you give to any of us, we are beggars, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are indeed, Ya Allah, beggars. Ya, we are like your beloved Sayyidina Dawood alayhi salam. Ya Allah, who always wanted more and more of your blessings. Ya Allah, we are indeed beggars, Ya Allah. We ask you of all your blessings, please, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, do not decrease in our blessings, but always increase us, Ya Allah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب الدنيا وقنا عذاب القبر وقنا عذاب الميزان. Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, please allow us that we be able to use the blessings of this dunya for the sake of our hereafter. Ya Allah, please allow us, Ya Allah, give us tawfiq that the blessings of this dunya do not make us arrogant people. Ya Allah, please allow us that we be able to distribute these blessings that you have given us to the people who are in need of that, to the places that are in need of that. Ya Allah, you please accept, Ya Allah, this giving of ours. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akrameen. Ya Allah, please save us from going at any other door except your door. Ya Allah, we know, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, that we will never be able to get anything from any other door except your door, Ya Allah. Please, Ya Allah, save us from going at any other door. Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, that you give us, Ya Allah, all of your blessings, Ya Allah, without asking anybody, any of your creation. Ya Allah, you give us, Ya Allah, all the blessings, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Please, Ya Allah, accept all of us for the service of your deen. Ya Allah, we also beg you that you save us from any calamities, any hurdles, any shurur. Ya Allah, in serving your deen, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we indeed are very weak people, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, it's true that, Ya Allah, people who have served your deen, you have tested them with calamities, you have tested them with troubles. Ya Allah, to see how consistent they are. But Ya Allah, we are very weak people, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we will never be able to bear any of these, Ya Allah, difficulties. We beg you, Ya Allah, that you allow us to serve your deen, that you also allow us to serve your deen with afiyah, with khair, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, never put us in any sort of test, Ya Allah. Allah, we are weak people, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Please do not put us in any test, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akrameen. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, when a small little baby goes to his mother and says, Ya Allah, Mama, Mama, Allah, that mother of his, Ya Allah, who is in your creation, Ya Allah, her heart will become soft. Ya Allah, you are the one who is, Ya Allah, who loves us more than 70 mothers. Ya Allah, we keep on saying, Rabbana, Rabbana, Rabbana. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please, Ya Allah, look at us with that one side of love, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we indeed all are, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we all are in need of your one side of love, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Please, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please change our dead hearts. Ya Allah, please make these hard hearts, Ya Allah, soft. Ya Allah, we have truly oppressed ourselves. Ya Allah, the state that we are in, Ya Allah, we are responsible for that. Ya Allah, we beg you that you please forgive us and Ya Allah, change our state towards good. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. Ya Allah, we truly have oppressed ourselves. And if you do not show your mercy and do not forgive us, Ya Allah, we will be from the losers. Ya Allah, save us from losing, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, save us from losing, Ya Allah, the test of this life. Ya Allah, save us from failing the test of this life, Ya Allah. Please, Ya Allah, make us from the successful people. Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, of all the people who've asked for du'as, Ya Allah, you know their needs more than we. Ya Allah, us, please, Ya Allah, we beg you that you grant them all what they're in need of. People who are sick, Ya Allah, please give them perfect cure. People who are misguided, please give them guidance. Ya Allah, people who have any sort of issues, calamities, Ya Allah, any sort of troubles. Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you please remove those calamities from those people. Ya Allah, people who are in need of anything, be it worldly thing or, Ya Allah, the thing of the hereafter, please grant all of them, Ya Allah, more than what they can even think of, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, Ya Akramul Akrameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, everybody's hearts, it is in your control, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that, Ya Allah, you can change it to whichever direction you want, Ya Allah. We beg you, Ya Allah, that you change our hearts toward good. Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Rabbit Qulubana ala Dinik. Ya Musarrif al-Qulub, Sarrif Qulubana ala Ta'atik. يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. يا أرحم الراحمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. Ya Allah, you also change the hearts of the people who are attached to us in any shape or form. Ya Allah, people come and talk about other people who they are suffering from. Ya Allah, I cannot do anything. Ya Allah, we cannot do anything. But we can make dua, Ya Allah, we beg you, Ya Allah, that you change the hearts of those people. Ya Allah, we beg you that, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, please bring everybody to khair. Ya Allah, please allow everybody to live with each other with peace, with love. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, please make this world a place of peace, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, guide every single person on the face of this earth, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please guide every single person on the face of this earth, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please guide everybody, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, when it's time to go back to you, please, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, we beg you that you be pleased with us first and then give us of our death. And Ya Allah, you call us with those beautiful words of Ya Ayyatuhan Nafsul Mutmainna, Irji'i ila Rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah. وَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. Ya Allah, make the kalima the last word from our tongue. And Ya Allah, please make the grave from the gardens of paradise. Allah, make the question of our graves easy for us. Make it spacious, fill it with light, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, when it will be time to be raised up in front of you, please give our books in our right hand. Make us from your muqarrabeen. Ya Allah, please give us the shade of your throne, and there will be no other shade but your shade. Ya Allah, give us the water from the blessed hands of your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, give us its intercession, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, give all of us its intercession, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, please allow us that we be able to live a life of a Sunnah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so that when He sees us on the day of judgment, He becomes happy with us. Ya Allah, He hugs us, He smiles at us and gives us, Ya Allah, the water from His blessed hands. Ya Allah, and He intercedes for us on that day when we all be in need of His intercession. Ya Allah, please let us pass the bridge of Sirat with the speed of light and give us a space in the neighborhood of Your beloved Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ya Allah, all what we ask, please grant us, and all what we could not, Ya Allah, please grant all the khair with afiyah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى اللهم تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين الحمد لله رب العالمين.